sure I can have a baby after 45. Let me throw these chicken bones. I never thought I'd have a blonde American wife. But when I brought you that ranch dressing, I knew I'd be your dipping sauce for life.
I booked a dream vacation on a tropical isle. I only wanted to bone.
Oh, how could I have known that I'd wind up knocked up and really pissed? Oh, love in paradise, we're planting a banana tree. Love in paradise, have you heard of polyamory? I swear that I can see forever in your giant dick. Love in paradise. It's the size of my arm. Fade it, Gary. Wonderful, wonderful.
Y'all, I am furious. I'm angry and I'm furious because we literally just got back from tour. I mean, we landed on the plane.
We got out of LAX and we're here at my apartment doing
we got out of the car. We came up here and we were like, we got to do this fucking show.
My neighbor bothered us.
Which we're happy to do because we love Love in Paradise.
We do.
We're tired, but we love this show. But I just got an email from the hotel and you ate $200 worth of penis. At the hotel, $200 worth of penis that I had to pay for.
You fucked up that joke, so you're so tired. You fucked up. You almost said peanuts.
No, I said penis.
No, never mind.
Maybe. Tired. And
Penis.
It still made you laugh. It was worth it.
No, I anticipated.
Anyway, y'all, I guess I'm going to have to pay for that.
I ate. So the hotel says there was too much penis in his room.
Too much penis in your business partner's room. You are not invited back at the Denver Moxie. No, thank you.
I need to say this about this hotel. Y'all, they have on the walls like little hanging chairs that you can unfold and a table that unfolds. There's no room for a desk.
It is like a small, people that live in those small houses, but a hotel room.
Tiny houses.
Tiny houses, that's it.
Yeah, that's not what I want in my hotel. I'm just going to say that now.
I think when you moved the table and you realized it wasn't that
I moved
secure.
the table and it fell over and coffee went everywhere. And it wasn't the best start to my morning.
No.
I screamed, fuck, 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 then kicked my suitcase.
You get violent when you get really angry.
I do.
You like to kick or hit
I'm not going to hurt other people usually.
Things, though.
Doesn't mean I don't want to.
You have tried to kick me before.
Yeah, you needed it.
Wow.
As my mother poodle would say, you knew you needed it. Yo, this is Lip.
I love that you accidentally butt dialed your mother and she immediately texted
What's
you.
wrong?
What's wrong?
I saw it happen. I was like, no. I can't talk to you right now. I'm leaving the apartment. So everything fine?
My mother would say, hey, baby, did you call? And your mom just says, what's wrong?
No. I butt FaceTimed her. It was even worse, which I never FaCetime her.
So she thought like you were in a car accident trying to call her.
Yes. Chamber, are you okay?
No.
Why are you FaceTiming me? Is there something wrong with your face?
You don't want me to see. I'm your mother, Jay Bird. Show me. Oh, Father Poodle, his nose is gone. Anyway.
Did you get a face tattoo?
All right, y'all.
This
Love in
episode
Paradise.
is called Mixed
Signals.
Signals and Mixed Nuts.
Great movie. Loved it. Great Christmas movie.
You mean Mixed Nuts, not Mixed Signals.
Don't
and
know
mixed
that
nuts.
movie.
I'm sure it's.
Yeah, I don't think it's a movie.
But
y'all,
it's a Christmas movie about a suicide hotline, and I'm like, who greenlit this?
Nora Ephron.
No, she wrote it.
I think she directed it too.
Oh, I don't know.
I know she
But
wrote
the
it,
studio greenlit it, so
Well,
she
yeah.
didn't do anything like that.
The movie has got its own character. Okay, so
Maybe you saw it at a time. I don't remember it enthralling me. I know Madeline Kahn was really great in it.
it's the reason why I fell in love with Madeline Kahn, and then what led me to watch Clue, because I'd never seen Clue before, and this was in high school.
How was that your gateway to Madeline Kahn?
I don't know, but I'd never seen
Clue.
I'd never seen Clue before, and then I'd heard it.
How
but
old were you?
Like this was like when I was like 15, 14.
No, that's about right.
Yeah, freshman in high.
Why were you watching Mixed Nuts as a 13 or 14-year-old?
Love Steve Martin, because my parents would, anytime there was the old reruns of SNL on, because my parents loved it from the 70s.
Okay.
They would watch it and they'd say, "Come watch." And so, like,
I see.
I grew up with Two Wild and Crazy Guys, King Tut, all that Steve Martin stuff. I'd love to see him and Martin Short tour. They're touring right now, but we are too. But we're not anymore, y'all, because summer should be done.
Summer should be done. The Live, Laugh, Love / Summer Should Be Fun tour has been put to bed.
It's been put to bed.
Like several men that I saw.
It's true. It's true. Poodle got dick down. We all had laughs.
You got your nails painted.
And I got my nails done. Yeah. You got fucked and I got a manicure. So that's where we are. And but no, we had a great time. Denver, you need more highways in your city.
Okay.
But other than that, I enjoyed Denver.
I don't want to say much about this because I don't want to belabor it. But I've been to a lot of cities.
I know.
Few have the problematic infrastructure that we experienced in Denver.
Very rarely bitch about traffic because I don't get that upset about traffic.
I complained about it the whole time.
But that's kind of the norm. You complain about traffic in every city the whole time.
But this was trafficy for no reason.
But this, I agree, is a badly designed system.
Yeah.
It's inefficient.
Y'all need to rally and like run for city council in Denver or something.
Yes.
Fix your infrastructure. Something is wrong.
Other than that, love Denver. The people were really nice.
They were lovely.
Really good food. Beautiful city. Just takes forever to get around.
And the theater didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh, yeah, y'all.
So, y'all, you know when you see me backstage and I'm going, okay, and I'm just trying to process and my eyes are as big as saucers.
It was of course our last show, and bless Poodle's heart, the biggest tech shit show.
Yeah, and I had a fucking teamster up there trying to tell me what he was gonna do and what he was not gonna do.
It's why we're
not. You don't argue with the teamster.
Even though we have a Love in Paradise new theme song, we're not playing it because Poodle and I refuse to play that right now because we couldn't hear the music, so we were off on the track.
Yeah.
And I will not play that again for y'all.
No, I wrote it the day of, and
we will
it's
re-record
good.
it at another time, but not next week, y'all, because we're going on vacation.
We're going on vacay.
So we're gonna be Lip is probably there's only 2 shows we're going to go back and cover, and that's going to be Lip, and it's going to be 90 Day Fiancé UK, which premieres next week. Other than that, all of our other shows, y'all, even
get a
on
week
the
off.
Patreon classless, we're taking the week off.
And you're going to get maybe when we come back, you'll get like a little here's what we missed, like a little 5-minute explanation of the episode.
Knowing our luck, like the biggest thing on 90 Day Fiancé is going to happen next week.
I know. Well, we are doing tomorrow.
That's true, but yeah, the week, because will the week come back be like will that be the penultimate episode?
I think it's going to be longer because remember Happily Ever After was announced.
It premieres
the 29th of August, so it's that we've got another month.
17 episodes I think we've got.
Yeah, we've got another month.
Oh, good. Then we won't. It hopefully will be a slog, and we won't miss too much.
Hopefully
Emily's not pregnant with another baby.
The week when we're off, it is Emily goes to the OB
and has triplets are coming,
and they have a fight. Ari and Beanie ride bumper cars. Kara and Guillermo have a pre-counseling wedding session.
Bilal and Shada go skydiving. In the middle of the air, he hands her the prenup again, thinking maybe she can read it better.
And then she pulls open the parachute, and it's a bunch of like silverware.
He said, "If it's in cartoons, you can use my parachute." Just punking her.
Remember that was in the cartoons? They would open and it was just a bunch of silverware that came out.
Yep.
was like Wile E. Coyote
Wile E.
would do that.
Coyote.
Yeah.
Coyote.
I always felt sorry for him.
We don't have time. I wish I could say what
That
we say in Colorado.
Roadrunner was a bitch.
We don't have oxygen, but we can't.
Think about it.
My friend
he just
voices
wanted to
him
murder
now.
the Roadrunner.
It's true. I think you know JP, don't you?
Yeah.
He just got married. Yeah, he voices Wile E. Coyote now. He did it
Great.
in the newest Space Jam movie, I think.
Good for him.
I know. Well, I kind of like that it's a gay man playing him because if you look back, Wile E. Coyote was
gay.
always a persnickety
And
gay
it was
man.
homophobia perpetuated on him, especially by the Acme Company.
Let's just move
We need
on.
to move on.
Y'all, let's jump into this. So, thank you again for your support. We appreciate it. Now, let's
Thank
get
you
back
all
to
for
normal
coming,
life.
for seeing us on tour. We loved beating everybody, and
We did, and
even
we're
the
tired.
megaphones, even the megaphones who screamed
megaphones.
out things.
All right, y'all.
I'm gonna invent a seat ejector for those megaphones. I know, just shoot them through the roof.
That was funny. Okay, Danielle and Yohan.
Okay,
God, he looked good this episode, didn't he?
he does, but he believes there's really witches. I think he's a little. I think he's a little dense. To, I mean, or sheltered, or extremely sheltered.
Or both.
Yeah,
I want to yes and that. I think both.
I think Daniel's like, okay. She's like, I think she thought he was being joking until the end. He's like, no, in his confessional, no, witches come in, witches drink babies, the blood of babies,
Yes.
and it's a very, very serious thing.
Santa Claus is real, y'all.
And we all went, okay.
Now, I know
Big Dick
culturally-
Wonder.
Because what is the name? There was a horror movie. There's something called
You're gonna get this wrong.
from I don't know if it's South America. I don't know what type of Latinx culture, but there's
Llorona, La Llorona.
Is it
the
La
woman?
Llorona?
That's the southwest. That's Mexican.
Oh, it is. But isn't
Yep.
that the same? Isn't that about children? Like a woman?
No,
There was because.
you're gonna don't try it.
But
Just-
no, I know. No, I'm asking sissies to come at us and let us know because I know there's a cultural. Because basically, a guy I used to work with was into horror movies, and he was telling me about it because he was dating a girl at the time who was from Mexico, I believe.
Yeah.
And so they were working on this horror movie, and it's about a woman sucking the blood of
Yeah,
children.
I think that's Llorona. I think.
Anyway, so maybe there's all these different tales.
Yep. The weeping woman
It's
who roams waterfront areas mourning the children she drowned. I don't know if she sucks children's blood.
But what only reason I bring that up, but I think it is literally, it's not like this is the same as someone saying here, I think at least for me, I want to know if it's the same as someone in the U.S. saying, I believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and the big bad wolf, or ogres under my bed.
yeah.
It's like that type of children's fairy tale.
Yes,
And
yes.
the fact that come at me, sissies.
He
I
still
don't know.
he still believes it.
Still believes it. I'm just like,
And does it with an extremely serious face.
and I thought, okay, you get what you deserve.
This is another red flag that she takes notice of, but she just brushes aside
Well, I think honestly that she
because
brings
the dick
it up.
flag is big enough.
It's true, but I still think she brings up a part of her self-sabotage because she knows he thinks that already because she's already
Yeah, I
brought
agree.
up about witch stuff.
I agree.
But before that, yeah, y'all,
He ate
he ate all the peanuts.
I could not stop laughing when I'm laughing, and I think something is really funny, especially on camera. Not really funny to me. I kept writing, bah ha ha, oh my god, and she keeps bringing up the peanuts because you guys, the one thing that her martyrdom she can't get away from is to keep mentioning how much of her money he is spending, and it really bothers him, and she doesn't really care.
She doesn't care. And he
Yeah.
even says, I love that he said, he said, if I'm hungry at 4 a.m., I'm going to eat. Now, I get it. He's dense enough that he's not thinking.
Right.
He should, because he works at a resort. He should know better that this is everybody knows
Yeah.
that the food in there is very expensive.
I guarantee you there are kind bars at the little store.
I agree.
At that resort.
I will say,
Get you some kind
I
bars,
do
y'all.
feel like Yohan, not in Danielle's defense, but just if Yohan seems like he makes as little
he's
effort,
a man-child, too.
Little effort as possible
Yeah.
to do really any. Because he probably thinks, I'm cute, I'm pretty, I have a huge dick. That's all I have to do is dick someone down.
Yeah.
I really think that's what he thinks and teach them how to fucking salsa
I
or
think
whatever
nothing
he was
has
doing.
really ever been expected of him past that.
No.
So-
He has a family of 4 sisters.
Yep.
What do you
They
think?
do everything.
He's been babied his entire life.
Right.
To do whatever he wants to do.
He does. He makes a living. Everything he makes money. Everything else has been taken care of for him.
Exactly.
So if
Doesn't have to
there's
cook,
food around,
clean,
yep.
nothing.
So it makes sense that he should get peanuts. I got to tell y'all, just get some Kind bars. I can't tell you. Put them in your suitcase. It's going to help
All right,
you.
Samantha Brown.
I loved her travel shows.
I still follow her Instagram.
She's still around?
Her Instagram is great.
for
She
her.
you're gonna love this. She gave a tip and I shared it to my Instagram. Some sissies liked it. And basically she said, if you're traveling with children, when they tell you at the first
God bless
if
your
you're-
soul.
If you're traveling with a spouse or significant other, there's 2 of you, when they say you can load the plane first, instead of taking your child, have the other partner take the car seat and everything they can, and they go in the plane and load it up. And then while you're sitting on the plane for 30 minutes waiting for everybody who's stressed and their energy
Right.
on the plane and
Yeah.
your kid's but the other partner has the baby, running them all around the airport, getting them tired out, and then just bring them on the plane on the last group to board.
That's a
You
great
sit down
idea.
and then you go.
That's a great idea.
Isn't it? Samantha Brown. Passport to
Yo,
fun.
run those babies out of their energy.
Loved
Ain't
her.
nobody want to hear your baby on a flight.
Although this flight, there's a crying baby about 4 blocks or rows behind me, but it was like a 2-month-old baby, and it makes it like,
Oh,
that cries
God.
cute to me.
Nope. It's all noise.
Cute to me. I just wanted to hold it. So
There should be flights that are adults only.
Yohan does say to her, he said, you keep saying that you have to pay. He said, I'm not an idiot. That's questionable. But he says, I know that I can't pay for it.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me all the time.
The thing about it is, I'm sure this is not the first time he is telling her this.
No.
And the thing about her response is always defensive. Like, well, I am paying. Instead of, I know this bothers you. She said it in her confessional, but not to him. Because, y'all, she's still chewing her lip over those $200 of peanuts.
Yeah.
This is why this whole charade that she's going to live in the DR
That's really what I was going to
and
talk
be
about.
so happy and be so away
That's
from
when
this.
it comes out. She's not in love with him.
No.
He's her big dick island guy.
And she's going to
that-
get bored with
that
it.
she can leave life
Right.
with and run away from
But
all
I'm
of
saying
her problems.
there's no way in hell she'll be happy living in the DR.
Oh.
If she
She'll
can't,
last
if she just
6
constantly
months.
sweats about the $200 of peanuts.
She'll last 6 months.
Yeah, I agree.
6 months.
I find her, like, I was talking
What's
about
she gonna
this
do
at
for
the,
money?
Yeah, I know exactly. I was talking about this at the live show. I am shocked we have not had a complete snotty crying meltdown from her yet.
It's coming. This is episode, what was this? 6. There's usually.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I'm
we
a
don't
little disappointed in her. I expected hi, Bessie.
We don't know what they're going to have because they had 8 episodes last season because it was streaming. However, it did really well, and then it did well. So I could see them giving us like 10 episodes of this.
Maybe.
We don't know, y'all, because Discovery tells us nothing. So we're with y'all on this. Cut to, we just got back from tour and we're doing this show. I will say Danielle is the epitome of someone who is worried about the wrong things.
Yeah.
Meaning, y'all, this fucking saging of the car
and saying
all
Psalm
of-
23.
I just wrote, honey, you're worried about the wrong stuff in life. I think Danielle, I realized in watching this, I went, oh, she actually really can't worry or deal with the real things in life. So she busies her mind with these silly little ancillary things like, and I'm not saying the religion of it's silly, so I'm not saying that, but the way she treats it, she busies her mind with saging the car. She busies her mind with planting the banana tree. She busies her mind with all, because she really doesn't want to face the fact of, I'm 48 years old. I don't have enough money.
Yeah.
How are we going to have a baby? Because she can't be an adult to deal with that.
She's doing the same thing that she criticized Yohan for doing with his religion. She is completely trusting something that is outside herself, but at the same time, it seems desperate, and it seems like she doesn't really trust it down to her core.
No.
It's just all desperate. Everything she is doing, you guys, is a sign of a desperate person. And it's not easy to watch, which is why not a lot of us have a lot of love for this person.
No.
And it's do you know when she's talking about now I can't, she's like, you want some peanuts? She's like, I can't eat peanuts. And she's like, it's taboo. And he's talking about his church, and he's kind of like, what the fuck? You yelled at me about eating peanuts and my church and everything like that, but you won't eat peanuts? So
but at the same time, though, she's judging him for thinking that witches are real, and people thinking in his faith witches are real.
Right.
And he probably thinks it's just as fucking crazy that he, like he mentioned before with the banana tree, is in a tree in a country where people need food, and that someone can't eat a peanut because it's against their religion.
Right.
That sounds just as crazy to him.
not because she has an allergy, but because her spiritual advisor said peanuts aren't for you right now.
Y'all, God made peanuts. Eat them if you want.
But no, not if you have a severe peanut allergy.
No, don't even if you have a peanut allergy.
I've made fun of this before, y'all. But when I pick up kids or pick up my my nephew and something like, or like daycare centers, the anti-peanut imagery that you will find, yes, but no, like it's like whole, like not just talk about it, like signs that have like a picture of Mr. Peanut with the red thing in it, and it's like those are like hated. It's like werewolves in Eastern Europe.
I bet you $1 million the sunflower industry is behind it to make sunflower butter.
I'll never forget walking into I think it was my niece's daycare at the time, and it was just anti-peanut propaganda everywhere.
It makes you wonder, were kids just dying all the time when we were kids for peanut butter? Because we had peanuts
That's a really
everywhere.
good point.
It wasn't
That's a good point.
Or the allergies just happened more. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm struck by the imagery. There's a lot of cartoon versions of Mr. Peanut in different versions, and like they're slashing his throat, basically.
Again, y'all,
It's weird.
Mr. Peanut was gay.
And quite a snob.
He was the Oscar Wilde of nuts. Just walking around with a top hat and a cane.
Mr.
Gay.
Planters.
Yeah, because they called him planters.
Quite
he knew how to-
effete.
He planted seed.
No, he was big bottom.
Really?
Yeah, he was taking
I
it.
think Mr. Peanut's more of a top.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe he was a very, very... It was a blouse. He was a
Yeah.
fancy top.
Yeah, fancy top.
Yeah,
like
I get that.
I like that.
Anyway. So, y'all, 4 days to get married.
They're driving to go see his mom.
They're driving down the highway, and we're going to see his parents.
They're going to think I'm a rich American woman, which is what I want them to think. No, it's true.
No running water!
No running water. She does, though. She's like, I'm just worried they're going to think of me as a rich American woman. And I went,
Yeah.
That's exactly the way you
And
want
I
them
was
to
going to
think of
say,
you
and that's
as.
exactly what you project.
That's 100% what you want to be seen as, Danielle, because then you're seen as powerful.
You know what's so interesting? I think she thought she was going to come on this show and be an object of empathy for people, a woman who is finding getting her third act in life and finding this hot Dominican lover, and she's finding her chance, where everyone is kind of like, you're close to Karening kind of pretty much all the way through here.
Yeah.
And
and a huge hypocrite.
yeah, and I think it's going to severely backfire for her.
Yeah.
I think she may have been one of the people who really thought she would be liked.
Yeah.
On this show.
I agree. I agree with that.
And it has not. I don't read most of what I see is either our Facebook group or in Reddit, and in both of those places, she is not well liked.
No,
so
she is not.
It's I have a feeling if that's a general sampling.
Sometimes people don't like that. They think that's what. I think that's the reason why Mary and Brittany aren't on Smothered anymore. I think she didn't like the edit.
The edit.
That's the only reason, because everybody loves it, y'all. Mary just followed us on Instagram.
Oh, so it's such an exciting time to be alive.
Is dating someone, a man,
wow,
a very cute black man.
Are we sure it's a man?
Well, I mean, he might have been, but
Okay.
no, looks like a man. And
Okay.
she uses the he pronouns on his
Okay.
on Instagram.
All right.
There's pictures of them like with their hands on top of each other on her leg. She has very dark
I love
black
being
hair
in a
now.
relationship.
Her Instagram says like the black-haired girl. She has dark black hair and she has bangs. God, I miss them.
Brittany.
I miss them so much.
What's gonna go with my sleeve?
I posted a picture because she's friends with Dave from Dave and Lana of 90 Day Fiancé. They're actually, David. They're friends in real life before the show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
we do go to his house, and I think this is also when she's saying things like, I think she's trying to educate us as the audience about the
Yeah.
Dominican Republic, and she's like, the Dominican Republic is a paradise for tourists, but not for the people who live here. And she kind of gets a little Sally Struthers tone in her voice.
Yeah.
And it feels really gross.
Feels even
and
grosser when she turns vicious because she thinks she's going to have to pay for it.
And so she says there's no running water, two bathrooms
What
with
did she
no
do
running
for
water.
work again? She said, and I don't remember.
Teacher.
Oh, she's a teacher.
And he basically says, when I leave my job at the resort, it's a different world that I come back to, and if you take these two confessionals back to back, he's actually being honest without really a lot of intent, without trying to make us think a certain way. It's just basically saying, this is how I feel. She's trying to talk to the audience and change our thinking.
Yeah.
And it's such a dialectic here between those two.
Because he says, y'all, do we think Yohan actually loves her? I don't.
I don't
think he likes her.
I don't think it's that. I don't think love is very complex for him.
I agree with that.
I think love is transactional. I think love is whoever you're in front of that you can fuck. I think love is whoever's the best boat to take you to where you want to go. Yeah. I think that's love for him. That's why I find it's not that I don't think that's a reasonable question, but I don't think it's very effective with a lot of 90-day fiancés. Like if I asked if Annie, her first season with David, does Annie love David? And I would say yes, in a way that she loves him. There may be a goal behind it.
I actually think she has more though what American love though than Yohan, because she talks though in that first
That's
season
true.
about how kind he is to her.
Yeah,
and, like she gets emotional.
But
Yohan looks at her to me as just kind of like there's not this infatuation with her.
Yeah,
the way she has with him, and he even said, of course, everyone wants to live in the U.S. because that's where you go to make your dreams come true. And I'm like, well, that's not really true for everybody, but he believes that.
I agree. I would say that both of these people's sincerities about love are about at the same level. I think for what she thinks love is, she hasn't really thought it out. None of this.
I think, honestly, both of them kind of love each other the same way.
Yeah.
In that who they're in love with they're in love with more of the life that person can give them.
And the symbol of that.
So clearly they haven't talked about this.
No.
He wants to go to the U.S., and she's like, oh,
I want to live here.
It's warmer.
And y'all, you see, she's like, and I don't have to pay rent. And you just see his family go, what, bitch?
What, bitch? And she's like, I pay $4,000 a month in New York for rent, and they all
what
just
an
go,
entitled bitch
I'm like,
to
what?
talk about this. When she's saying that, I'm like, stop. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself?
I wonder where her child lives. Because remember, y'all, Sherry has a kid.
That's right. I think they're grown.
But they're grown. But still, I'm like, your kid lives in New York and you just want to move to the DR?
None of this has been thought out. None of this.
She's running away, y'all. Running away.
Run away.
And so, but yes, she wants that paradise life. And she's like, I just want to be old and do yoga on the beach.
And y'all, meanwhile, someone's saying, can we bring in some more running water from the cistern and back?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the tone deafness with which she's talking to these people and the way she says, like, she's like, I think I'm just going to live here. And the aunt's like, well, it would be really better for him to be in the U.S. because he's always dreamed of that. And
we make no money
We
here
make no
compared.
money, so it would be helpful. And then she in a confession is like, it's hard because I really want to love Yohan, but then I think sometimes, is he just in it for my money or just to go to the U.S.? No, that's just what his aunt said to you.
That's just what I love that
Dumbass.
they paired that quote right after the aunt also said, I'm 52 and I've been working since I was 11 and I have
nothing.
And
I
she's
pay
like,
$4,000 a month
for rent.
It's just the utter tone deafness of it. It hurts my brain with this woman.
The woman has the empathy of a rock.
I really do believe she thought people would identify with her and understand her story. And I think it's been the opposite.
It's been the opposite. The opposite.
That's all I really have.
All right, we're going to take a little break. If you're listening on the free feed, this is later, months down the road. But for the Patreon, obviously, we're just going to keep on going. Carlos and Valentine.
Valentine. Capital V, little A, capital L.
Carlos
Valentine.
is just walking around. I never thought I could be so happy. He's just walking on
he
the...
says, I'm at peace with myself.
Yes.
And they're going, you guys.
Coming out of my shell for Valentine. Barranquilla is a conservative city. And
we're going to Santa Marta.
I'm going to come out of my shell. We're going to go to Santa Marta,
which is a more progressive town. And I thought the way this started, I was like, this is nice. We're going to share part of your history with Valentine. And we're going to get to see, and Valentine has been kind of critical about how Carlos isn't letting him be liberated sexually. Mm-hmm. So they're obviously, so it seems like Carlos is trying to do something that might make things a little easier for Valentine. Mm-hmm. And then it turns a little bit into, it's like, so that's where you went first. He's like, no, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it seems like you don't even know anything about me. And that he does turn, he does to a 180 on a dime. Two things are true here. Does Valentine really listen? No. Does Carlos get upset when Valentine doesn't hit every bit of his history? Yes. Now, what this is a symbol of, you guys, is Valentine has never been in a relationship where he's had to really get to know the other person.
Yeah, probably not. Because,
I will follow that up later.
Because, y'all, Valentine is pretty self-absorbed.
Yep, completely.
He's not like a narcissist, not like class. So I don't want to use that word unless we really think someone is.
But conversation is pretty surface.
But it's very surface, and a deep conversation to Valentine, I don't think has a lot of details. That said, the thing with Valentine is that, and with Carlos, there is, like Danielle, she's not likable to me at all.
No.
Valentine and Carlos, they are completely wrong for each other. They communicate terribly. And you can also, though, tell that they're both not they're both not people who intentionally hurt other people. They're just kind of so wrapped up in their own world.
They're unconsciously doing it.
So there is like, to me, there is a likability to that in them. I guess that's not probably.
I don't like either of them, but that's okay.
But I don't have a strong reaction to them the way I do. Like
No. I agree. It's more innocuous. I think of them as kind of bumbling. Both of them are bumbling in this relationship.
It seems harmless. I don't think they're both where Danielle
it's harmless.
feels like
you're right.
she wants to intentionally take. She wants to manipulate.
No,
Yohan,
she's gonna fuck up his life.
Where they don't know that they're doing that to one another.
No,
at
I agree
all.
with you.
The
I agree
bumbling,
with you.
I think, is a good word for it.
Yeah, they're just bumbling into this relationship because neither one of them, the relationship that one wants, that each of them want, is nothing that the other is going to be able to give them.
Yes, and I think actually the problem with both of them is they both don't really have any awareness of themselves.
Yeah.
They're working towards that, I'm sure, but it's like when Carlos says, the problem is that we're both so much alike. They think they're both so
That's
much
not true.
They both think they're so much alike because they're both, quote, tops. That's the only thing they have in common.
That whole dominant thing that they keep talking about, you guys.
Carlos is going to be a bottom. I still call it.
I want to move away from that because I don't think it's fair to talk about.
Explore more, but regardless of that, I mean, I could see that. But regardless of that, they are nothing alike. That's the point I was getting to. I don't think anything.
But what I want to talk about is, I don't think Valentine has ever spent 4 to 5 days consecutively with one person, and I think this idea of being dominant.
Oh, I think he probably has gone on vacations with people and things like that. You don't think ever?
Not with how he is behaving here.
I mean, no. It does seem like Valentine is not used to being with people.
Let me clarify. I would question whether the relationships he has been in is how much time he actually spends with that person. Or does he see that person, they go to their separate abodes, and he sees that person whenever he wants to see them?
I think, I can see where you're going with this. I think that probably Valentine, just because I know, like, Valentine reminds me a lot of, like, not all, but guys, one reason want, just a lot of that, like, WeHo gym guy surface level, and they would date people, but you know how they would date. I remember one of my friends who was this beautiful guy, and he wasn't this surfacey gym WeHo guy, but he was dating this gym WeHo guy, and he came over and to his house, and we sat there, and there was nothing. We were trying to engage in conversation. Right. There was nothing he could talk about. He was just kind of like, just saying, just normal, just a kind of like, just basically. Not even anything that contributes to a conversation, just the random shit that everybody says about whatever people are talking about in the zeitgeist right then at that moment. But just pretty brain dead. And I talked to him, my friend later, who's really smart, and I said, what kind of conversations do you have? And he's like, oh, we talk about like other guys that are hot. We talk about like different workouts. And literally I told my friend, I'm like, you're not that person at all. He was like, I know, but his ass is so cute. And I'm like, well, then I can't help you. But I think Valentine is used to having those type of conversations.
I agree, but I think...
And he's just surprised by Carlos because of this phone conversation. Now
right.
It's like, Carlos is a raw, wounded nerve of emotion, and I just want to talk about it.
But let me tell you some things that give him away. And I'm gonna be Clarence Darrow here.
Okay.
Things that he says is, I feel like you're taking my independence.
Oh yeah, that's complete bullshit. Yeah.
No, but think it is revelatory in what it means for him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He also says, you need to give me some space. Again, y'all, they've been here for like 5 to 6 days together.
No. He came here to be with him.
Yes.
So it's like saying, hey, let me come to you to have a vacation. I need space from you.
But that's what I'm saying.
Which is kind of a poodle move.
It is. I know this. But what I'm saying is, that is this. Carlos has an emotional energy where he wants to be vulnerable and share. Valentine can't take a lot of that.
No.
It's not comfortable for him.
Yeah.
And so what happens is he lets all of that irritate him. Now, if Carlos was like whistling in the car with me, I would say, you know what? I'm not going to get pissed off and say, you need to stop doing that. It's really irritating. Because unless the only reason I would do that is if I am already so annoyed by someone being in my space. And that is exactly where Valentine is.
No, that's where this is how their phone conversations, unless it was like phone sex and they were like jerking off together
I think that was 50% of it.
But I think it was a lot of it. I think all their phone conversations had to deal with Valentine would call Carlos whenever he was doing something at home on the pro. He'd put him in his earbuds. Or y'all, you have that friend. They put you in their earbuds or they put you on speakerphone and they're always doing something while they're the person that
I hate that. I get off the phone with people when they do that.
They're the person on speakerphone at the grocery store, grocery shopping talk. That is Valentine.
Horrifying. Those people are monsters.
Those are people that always can't just sit and talk to someone. Yeah. You have to be a witness to their life and doing. And I say that because they're halfway listening to you.
Right.
Whereas Carlos is sitting at home on his bed, twirling his hair,
doodling doodling hearts of a notebook,
and listening to every single fucking word Carlos says or Valentine says.
So that's what I'm saying.
Now Valentine can't get away from that. He can't go into a grocery store and he's got to sit and look at him.
And that's why
you're right. He's sick of him.
He's sick of him.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, relationship history wise, that's why I would doubt that he's ever been on vacation spending so much time with one person who is as emotional, and I wouldn't say as emotional. I would say, excuse me, plain air, y'all dried my voice out. Who is as kind of emotionally curious about him as anybody else. Everybody else has kind of been like, we're fucking. So, and this is kind of a relationship, but I'm going to go to, also
they were probably poly.
Exactly.
So they were cruising guys together as well.
Exactly. So, and I'm not going to say all polyamory, you guys, is about trying to keep yourself from being vulnerable.
Well, no, I don't think Valentine classifies as polyamory anyway.
But I'm saying that is sometimes a defensive mechanism for gay men to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why everything became so clear to me, which I had suspected pretty much all the time. We've said this before. We did not want to make a judgment on what Valentine calls polyamory, but we're pretty much saying he likes to just fuck everybody. Yeah. And next week, there's already a preview when he's like, I'm going to talk to Carlos about polyamory, and we're going to get this really started, and if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Can you imagine?
This is the first time they meet. They act when they have conversations. Carlos acts like I just met you, the kind of what we see in real time.
Yeah.
And Valentine acts like he's been seeing him like in person for 2 years in a 2-year relationship.
I think you flipped that.
Valentine?
Yeah, and Carlos.
Yeah, Valentine acts like he's been with him like in person for 2 years. And in the way they act. Carlos acts
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a new relationship. The way Valentine even talks to Carlos, it's like they've been together 5 days. It's like they've been together for 5 years in the same place.
He's
and
like,
the fact that he's now next week, like, it's time to open this up. I'm like, I see what you're saying. Got there.
But that's why it's. I'm trying not to criticize his. Because I don't know him, but I'm gauging on everything I see, and I know men like this. Everything is for some type of, when relationships are there, it's done as a convenience.
No, I'm telling you.
Then for sex.
Yeah, I know it just because I've seen it so much in people living that, not everyone, but people living that kind of WeHo gym life.
Yep, I agree.
And the problem with that is I'm never actually happy where I'm at because there's always something prettier.
Ding, 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 ding.
There's always something better.
So
which we're kind of in that as a culture now, which is why it's really hard for people to commit. Good luck if you're dating. Fun.
Carlos kind of says, you just really surprised me with you in the car and every time, because he basically says, Valentine's like, I can't wait to take a nice shower because now, Carlos is very sensitive about everything you say about Colombia. And it is not a nice thing. Can't wait to take a nice shower. It does. I would hear that as, so my shower is shitty. I would hear that. It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, I would hear that too. But that on top of Carlos hears everything as
he
an
does.
insult again, because Carlos isn't secure with the person he is. So everything is this. I'm being so hurt.
What do you think of someone? They've been together. What is it? Maybe 7 or 8 days by now. Probably not even that long. Mm-hmm. And he just goes, "Leave me alone."
Yeah,
I just went.
It's not good. And Carlos just walks out, and then later,
which I would too if someone said that. Actually, I would have left before. I would have left when he was being shitty in the car.
It just would have gotten out.
Yeah.
When I'm a grown ass man, fall back. When he walks out, and then later at the beach, Carlos is sitting there, and he said, it's been a week, and then Valentine comes out dressed in a very red outfit. It's all red, and Carlos is like, he looks so cute.
I don't love the monochrome outfits
I don't
either.
love that at all.
Yeah.
But Carlos said something that I thought was very telling. Is he said, we used to fight all the time over the phone. I went, oh, that's the first time we've heard this. And then he followed that with, and I thought in person it would be easier. So it's that same thinking of, if I get married, we'll calm down. If we have a baby,
it'll fix it.
And so now they went,
your baby's never going to fix nothing.
So this made sense. They both knew what they were getting. Because I think we've all been thinking, were they not prepared for what they're receiving from one another when they actually met in person? No. I think they both knew exactly what they were going to be getting. I think Valentine did too. I think Carlos did too. But for some reason, they both had this idea that they wanted to meet. And I was trying to think, why do they think they just want to meet each other?
Because they thought the physical connection would fix it.
Oh, it's because they just want to fuck each other.
Yes.
That is literally why he took the whole trick, whatever, is to just fuck.
And get naked.
And guess what? Valentine got naked with him, had a good time. They both had big dicks.
But they didn't really get what they wanted.
And so now he's done, and he's ready to move on, and he's going to go back to New York. And
L.A.
He's from New York, but in L.A. now, and they're going to break up.
Yep. What was interesting, and Valentine keeps saying, I feel like you're trying to control me. Again, I went off on this on another podcast, and we talked about it last night in Denver, because people are like, you're so controlling. No, Bilal is controlling.
That's the denominator. That's what I used to. I was like, if you want to know controlling, it's Bilal.
Bilal is a gaslighter. Bilal is controlling. Use
Bilal,
that as your rubric.
Can't really talk about him very much anymore, but Paul is controlling.
Yes.
That is controlling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big Ed is controlling.
Big Ed is controlling.
But this is not controlling. This is bickering about things that you're saying, no, I think you should take a right here.
Yeah.
This is both of you, as you say, trying to be dominant. And when he says...
from Mark and Nikki
is controlling. Yes, that's controlling. Don't put your fingerprints on my window. Y'all, remember where you are when you heard that and your blood turned to ice water in your veins? Yes. And you went, oh, this motherfucker's crazy.
Crazy.
But I'm saying...
You're right, though. That's a good distinction.
This is bickering. And also, this is, when he says you're controlling, that means I control everything. Because I normally set things.
Well, it is very much... Carlos thinks it's like we're both dominant. It's just that Carlos can't hear even in a constructive type of criticism way, Carlos immediately takes it as an attack.
But I'm saying Valentine said that.
I know, but I mean, Carlos does
I see
too.
What you're saying.
So I think that they don't want to hear anybody. Neither of them wants to hear anybody else's
Isn't
opinion.
it interesting that it's never, the phrase is, you're controlling if I'm not controlling 100%. It's like the only dialectic that's allowed for them is that one person controls everything and the other plays along.
They look at things in top, bottom, black, white, or not black, but and Valentine says, he said, that's where he says, I want to take my power back because I thought you had too much, which is a weird way to look at relationships, honestly. And
it's
then,
hard for me to listen to him talk.
if you're looking at a relationship and you're using the word power, I don't know how much actual love is there between both people.
Yeah, especially after a week.
Yeah, and he said, because when Carlos comes at me, I feel powerless. And then he goes into this whole rant about growing up.
Maybe talk about why, and he did, but maybe that's a therapeutic way for you to think about maybe you're not powerless. Maybe change the equation.
Yeah, I don't think he's there.
Because
I think he's there. I think actually he's doing what people do a lot, and I've seen this like when they do therapy and they learn about their past. I hate it when people have the awareness and then they weaponize the past to shame their partner's present.
And that is so important. Say that again. Weaponizing the past to shame your partner's present.
Because I feel like if you have this awareness of why you do something, it's not for your partner to fix it. It's for you to fix it.
Yeah.
He should say, like you said, he should go into and say, I wonder why. Is this the same as when I felt powerless as a child? What's different?
And maybe this isn't powerlessness. Maybe you're here and you're not my father.
Sorry, I forget we're on a podcast. I just pointed my
did.
hand to like, yes.
Like Leopold.
Pasta, yes.
You gave me a cue. But but that's what it feels like. He is justifying. He's like, so that's why I'm treating you shitty.
That's why I'm treating you shitty. It's because of my past.
Y'all, if you're in a relationship with a Valentine, run. Or kind of a Carlos, too.
They neither of them need to be in a long-term relationship right now.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But then Carlos says something that very few people in 90 Day Fiancé history ever say. He says the opposite of what most people say. And he says, they make up because Carlos says, you look beautiful in red. And then they start talking about how sexy the other person is.
Yeah.
It's the only person
that's what they can
do. Connect about. But Valentine's just says, I was going to propose, but I'm not going to propose until we get along better. And I went, that's something. The first time we've ever heard that. How many people have had a huge fight say, I think it'll be better if I ask her to marry me?
Yeah. I have a feeling he's still...
Jorge.
I think he's still going to try to propose.
I think at the end he's going to have a change of heart, yeah. I think. We'll see. Valentine doesn't like to be tamed.
God, can we talk about... Yohan Sherlin? Or say we did and don't?
Y'all, all I know is they showed a clip of next week, and the moms are going to be there. and Sherlon's mother just looks like Sherlon in drag.
In a blonde wig.
With that same kind of sad face and long nose, and I am fucking here for it. I am here for it.
We've got Mama Karen with her windswept, crazy dry hair.
Yes, and her sun-soaked skin. Y'all, she loves going to that community pool and tanning.
I just want to, God, maybe it is the chlorine in that pool that does that to that hair.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
Because hot oil treatment or just a good rich conditioner would do so much.
Little Lola V.
That's expensive though. You don't even need that.
Yeah, that's
some
true.
VO5.
That's true.
You can buy that at CVS.
An Aussie hair mask.
Yes.
Remember when we did an Aussie ad for our Australian shows? I enjoyed that.
I called this Further Down the Dark Hallway. That was this segment.
That's what they called you in college.
The Dark Hallway.
There goes the dark hallway, boys.
Hey, boys, come on down. It gets... You get farther and farther away.
I got stuck in there for a week, y'all.
Everybody winds up good, though.
So... Ariana's like, so yeah, he admitted to sleeping with other women, and I made that clear that I'm okay with that. Y'all, it's kind of the same, this whole thing, I wrote a lot of notes, but it's really just the same beat of everything.
I didn't. I'm to a point now where he has told her everything. He actually now is saying to her face what he would not before.
So I will say, yeah, you do see that, talk about dense.
Also,
but I don't think he's been I don't think
He hasn't been crystal clear with her. Which you have to be with Ariana.
He's a fuck boy.
Yeah.
And he has not been clear with his work. You have to be very clear with Ariana. Yeah.
This is the other thing, what he said. She's like, he told me that I was his girlfriend and blah, 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 blah. I wonder if he said the exact words.
That's true. Like if she said it, he went, yeah, that's it.
I wonder if he ever said that.
Please, do they do? They don't do a reunion of this, do they?
No, they don't.
God, I would love.
It'd be fun
Sean
this
Robinson
season
to do a reunion.
I think that's one of those things that Sherlon does not say. I bet you anything. The GF word. I bet you that's probably not in his vocabulary.
He doesn't say that word a lot.
And I have a feeling Ariana made that up. Because as soon as she said it, I went, I don't think he called you that.
No, I think you're right. And because
now you're the mother of his child, which you immediately think, you immediately think that means you're together. You don't see it that way.
Yeah. Oh, he's the father of your child. You said mother.
Sorry.
The father. Yes. But he doesn't. It is. Again, it's this whole thing of, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but no matter what, it's this. I don't think everywhere in the world assumes just because you get someone pregnant that you're going to be a father to that child.
This is 1950s convent thinking.
But
this is
like it's terrible.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway,
you mean you get someone pregnant, you marry them, and that's it. That's what we're saying.
I don't know in the rest of the world if.
I think probably in still very insular Catholic cultures, yes. But not in Quincy, Illinois. Yeah. It's just assumed that if this happens, especially if he's in Jamaica, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And y'all, of course, they thought they were going to get, he said he's going to be better, and then she sees his phone's blowing up.
Who is blah, 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 this female? And then did you hear her say, who's Shanika, baby? He's like, that's someone I just kind of know. I just call everybody baby.
He does go, he totally does a,
We actually had some other screenshots of Sherlon's phone that he tried to explain.
Yeah, there was Shanika baby.
This is Lori Huge Tits.
Lori, yes.
There was also pretty Pussy Pink.
Pretty Pussy Pink. And then there was just 3 hearts, and it said dad ass. She texts a lot.
And that was his proctologist.
Yeah, exactly. Who knew? Not a hookup.
No.
Not a hookup.
No.
So
he had an explanation for everything.
She says to him, like, they're sitting down. She's like, well, maybe you can just chill with your resort.
You can just chill with your...
And Sherlock kind of comes in here and says, shut the fuck up and listen. And I went, slow your roll.
Yeah.
Don't talk to her like that. But then Ariana finally says, you've been playing the fuck out of me. She's like, your phone is buzzing all night. Like, literally, y'all, it is like, I think Sherlon's like, I've used this analogy before, but I think it's true. It's either going to be like Ty's phone or like Catherine O'Hara's character in Best in Show.
Yeah.
Where everywhere they go, she meets somebody else she fucked. And
yeah.
Eugene Levy's got like, oh, it's so funny, y'all. It's so funny.
I always feel a lot of simpatico with her. That because
he runs into the guy. He's like, "Hey, last time I saw you,
remember that truck stop in Dubuque?"
She's like, "Oh
yeah,
y'all, it is so good. It's so fucking funny."
And Eugene Levy's like, "What?
What?" But that is Sherlon.
I want to point out though, this rage that she and this kind of righteous anger she seems to have, it never goes anywhere.
Because it comes from an inauthentic place.
Yes,
not truth.
Thank you.
That's why.
And that's y'all. I think we would kind of
truth, but it's not their truth.
I think we would kind of respect her if she just went, you know what? I have enough respect for myself to know I'm being treated this way. And
I think, speaking of somebody, the edits, she probably thinks that she's going to get the edit as like a great mother who's trying to do the right thing for her kid. And I think she actually is it seems like she is very involved with her kids. Seems like she is a great mother.
I can't speak to that. I could not say she's a bad mother or a good mother.
She's a great mother. But I think that she she's a great mother, but I don't think she has any type. It's I would want to tease out from her. Why does being a good mother mean you have to be in a married relationship with the father? Can those things, can him having a separate life and you being a great mother coexist?
That has been our whole point this whole season.
But the fact that she can't just
she conflates those two things.
Yeah,
she conflates the love that the child must know that if their father and the mother are not together, they must know they tried as hard as they could to stay together. But like Game of Thrones, they were kept apart.
But Sherlon says
by fuck buddies.
Sherlon says,
dad ass.
Dad ass, hard. And he said, I know she doesn't get that's the man that I am, the man that I've been, and it's the man I'm going to be. It's the man I am. If she doesn't get that, then I don't know what to say. And I went, she doesn't get that because you're not fucking straight with her.
You're not actually telling her all that.
And you're that
That's very true.
boy who doesn't want someone to be mad at you.
Yep.
So you always want to tell her what she wants to hear.
The problem is he's saying things like, we need to work on this relationship. We need to work on this.
But he has no specific. Who else did that bothered us so much?
Mike, so we got to work on our problems.
Well, we got to...
But here's the thing.
Shrug shoulders.
Here's what I think he's meaning by that, and I'm not trying to give him a lot of credit here. I think what he's doing is saying, I'm going to talk you out of having a relationship with me so we can both be co-parents and somehow work this out.
He agreed because he never says.
She says we're going to be a family. We're going to be together.
No, and he just, because he does. He wants to. He's just going to keep, as you say, moving the goalposts, kicking the can until finally she's sick of chasing it. That's exactly what he's going to do. Because if he wanted to work on things, he would say, I'm going to work on this and this and this and this and this.
Y'all, Miss Karen is coming. Her mom, and she's going to watch Odin. I just want to
say real quick, Ariana says, again, but I get it. She's like in love, not with him, but she's in love with the idea of him because she says, when I came down here before, you were so complimentary to me. You told me how gorgeous I was. Yeah, because you were there on a bang trip.
Yep.
And of course
he wanted to fuck you.
He wanted to fuck you. And she's like, I feel like.
How can she be?
She said, well, it's not that she's dumb. It's that he played.
Is it not?
No. It's that she's a walking wound of insecurity still. And she even said so herself. And she said, I come down here now. And that's when she started crying. She said, you act like you're not attracted to me anymore. Because she thinks her attraction is just her body.
Yeah.
Even though it's not true, but that's what she thinks. And because she's gained weight since this baby, she feels like that now. I bet you if you had a serious conversation with Ariana for like an hour, at the end of it, she would say it's her fault that Sherlon's not attracted to her.
Oh, yeah.
She blames herself.
I say she's dumb that's in parlance. We say that dumb person is, that's what I'm saying.
Well, she is dumb in that it's so
everyone
clear
in the world.
Everyone knows he's not into her. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's that Trisha Yearwood song.
What?
Everybody knows.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Everybody knows what to do about my misery. Everybody but me.
Oh, I don't think I know that one.
It's a hit of her. Great Trisha Yearwood song.
It sounds kind of familiar, but
her new album is good, y'all.
That Every Girl in This Town song.
Yes, and my favorite track from that is Working on Whiskey. Oh, it's so good. She just wails. We should go see her live.
I like her a lot.
Have you ever seen Garth Brooks live?
I've seen him one time, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life.
One of the best one I've seen too.
We need to move on.
We do.
So I've got to say, Miss Karen comes, her mom, and I already had that hair. And mom, and she tells mom about the paternity papers, and
that
mom
he couldn't do it because he couldn't get to a FedEx.
And I gotta say, y'all, Miss Karen needs to be in the local production of the Quincy Little Theater because what a performance by an actress in a supporting role. I've just gotta say,
you know what? She knew her lines and she delivered them as she should have and what she needed
says.
to do.
She's like, she does say, She's like, and you know what, Mom? Sherlon has been seeing other women. And she goes, you're kidding. Yo, Mom knows this.
Mom knows this.
She is doing the best she can not to say I told you so, and good for her.
It's why her
not
sister
to do
didn't
that.
come this time, because they would have been
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Ari. And she's like, no. She's like, yeah. So they're, and Karen totally goes into, y'all, her name is Karen, so we're not calling her Karen.
No.
She's not a Karen.
Miss Karen.
Miss Karen. And she makes a good point, y'all, and this is true, because she talks about the papers. She said, it was too inconvenient. And she says, and this is so true, when someone cares about you, nothing's inconvenient.
That's true.
That is the damned truth, y'all. If you're with a guy right now and you're like, he just says he's so busy and he's trying to do it, but he's not busy, doesn't have enough time for me, da-da-da, he's not into you.
It's in
the first part of the relationship and people are busy, and I'm just saying, like, not a guy who wants to spend every day with you. That's probably your own neediness.
But I want to clarify. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like if someone says things like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just so," if you keep proposing things and they say, "Oh, I'm just so sorry. I'm busy," and then they don't
follow up with another
they don't
proposal.
follow up with another proposal,
Which is Sherlon.
that means that means they're not into you. And you know what? That's fine, because not everyone's going to be into you. You're not going to be into anybody else. But I promise you this, you guys, if you propose something, they say can't do it, and you keep doing it, if they don't come back to you with a separate thing, just call it a wash and go fuck a bartender.
Yes. But bring a plan B or birth control because you don't want to be Ariana. But
or condoms.
We're talking about someone.
Condoms, Rose. Condoms.
So good. I love that we're talking about someone who, we're talking about people using a dating example of a guy or whatever you're trying to get to go to dinner. Let's put this in context. Ariana is asking don't forget, the father of the baby to just send a paper to her so she can put his name on the birth certificate of his son.
Yeah.
And this is too inconvenient for him.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Karen. I know he said, but I work every day, and this, I'm sorry.
Take a personal day.
You could take a fucking day off.
Or, is your mom that busy? Go.
This is what I think. Do you think next week when we see the mom, do you think she's going to hold Sherlon to the fire or make excuses for him as well?
Make excuses for him.
There's
a reason. There's a reason why he's the way he is.
There's a reason why he's the way he is, yeah.
Yep. I'll be surprised
Unless
if she
his
holds
mother
him to the
holds
fire.
him to the fire and is militant about it, and maybe a part of him hates women, and that's why he doesn't have any respect for them.
Did you see the way he was dressed? He is looking his best for his mommy.
So I think his mom is not going to hold. Yeah, I think she's going to make excuses as well. Should
we talk about Gabby? No Frankie anymore, because I don't think we're ever going to see Frankie again.
I don't think we're going to see Frankie again. No way. Because that is not the story of this show. The story is of Abby and Gabby.
The Ballad of Abby and Gabby.
The Ballad of Abby and Gabby.
The Ballad of Gabba Gabba Abba.
We're too tired and we don't have the voice, but we almost could do a reality gaze opera theater of the two of them, but I don't have him in me, y'all.
So, do you guys think Gabby in her confessional looks like someone right out of Like Water for Chocolate? I don't. You've never seen that movie. She's like the ghost of the aunt who's like, Peppa, you will do what I say. She's got that long hair and that really severe makeup.
Yes.
She looks like she's just crawled out of the sea. If you've ever seen the movie Like Water for Chocolate and the aunt who died, you'll know what I'm talking about. You're screaming. That's not a spoiler, actually. It's, okay. I think it's the aunt. Have you seen the movie? It's a fabulous movie. It's a great book too.
Okay.
You're not a fan of Mexican fiction.
No, I remember when it came out and everybody talked about it.
Yeah. Okay. I remember when it came out and everyone talked about it.
I didn't see it.
I didn't investigate.
But Darkwing Duck was real good though. So okay.
I got really into Mexican and Latin American literature in high school.
Oh, okay.
And magical realism.
I've read Isabel Allende. I've read her.
Yeah.
But she's Spanish, I think.
No.
Isn't she? Or is she Mexican?
South American.
But that's just because she wrote a book about Zorro, which I enjoyed very much so.
Wow.
Loved it. It was a great Zorro book.
House of Spirits.
Not familiar.
I know.
Not familiar.
I know.
So, all right. So, Frankie's not there.
They're getting off the boat.
And Abby's like, I'm so upset that Frankie's friend told him all of my business to Gabby. And then
She revealed my con.
I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to hand it to Poodle. The music swells, and Abby just looks at Gabby. I'm sorry, Mama Con. Gabby looks at Abby and says, for tonight, we will say goodbye.
I need to talk to you, my love. Give me some epic music. I need something to go.
phone.
Well, fine. I guess it'll all be up to me, as usual.
Fine.
As soon as I saw you on the coast of Guadalajara, looking like a beautiful mussel coming out of the ocean, and I, like the Seahawk, perched on the tree, ripped you out of the clutches of the sea and made you mine. You have hurt me very much, Abby. You are the one that I love, like a sea turtle loves her mate before he fertilizes her eggs. She then goes to, I don't know what this is. She climbs up the shore, lays her gelatinous eggs into the sand, buries them. Abby, you have stomped on my eggs. There will be no baby turtles this season.
Wow.
I don't know if you're a good person or not, but I'm a good person. Love whoever you want, for you have destroyed the turtle eggs of my heart. I will love who I want. Farewell, adieu. I am now to the bottom of the sea I go. And scene. I don't know where I went with the turtle thing, but I thought she was going there. Very elemental witch. I'm telling y'all, look up light water for chocolate. That's the ant. That's everything you need to know.
It's chef's kiss watching her.
I love her.
She's just...
You failed me, Abby.
You can tell why Baby Con wants to leave her mother, because her mother's bonkers.
But she is such good television.
She's amazing television.
God, it's like telenovela, like
is,
hype.
yeah, it's so hyped,
I
yeah.
can't get enough. I would watch a whole show of Gabby.
And she walks away, and Gabby just doesn't cry, y'all. She like...
Oh, Abby, you mean?
Or yeah, Baby Con. And I only know them as Mama Con and Baby Con.
I know.
Because I still think they're mother and daughter. And because that's why you cry that way if your mother just loved it.
I think
and she
you need
cried.
to...
At one point she goes, ah! And screams and then cries some more. Y'all, Poodle called, I mean, I agree with you. Ain't no drama like lesbian drama.
And I can. It almost like there needs to be like a footage of it saying, next time on the voyage of the sea turtle. That's the telenovela.
I'm telling you this now. When they play this on TLC, because not everybody still has Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
When they play this on TLC, I think they're going to blow up. I think
Really?
there's going to be so many memes and stuff about them.
Probably.
They're just so fucking amazing to watch on television.
Oh, it's so
together.
good. You failed me.
It's time we say goodbye.
And all of those confessional looks that are her eyeliner's so dark, and her hair is kind of like swept back.
She looks like she just was someone that crawled out of a Zoltar machine.
Yes,
she's so
she is
dramatic.
very intense.
Yeah, very intense.
Yeah, no, she is an elemental spirit somehow.
Yes, I agree.
Brought forth. She's not a person.
She's not.
She's very old. She's ancient. She's one of the ancient ones.
Yes.
She's been many things in past lives.
Y'all,
I think I'm still woozy from Denver.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think you read those. Did you ever read those children's books, Oversea, Overstone, and all that?
No.
They were they're all about like mythical, sea, people from the sea.
No, she's a gorgon.
Yeah.
She's like a siren or something like that.
It's a siren.
She goes way back. She's older than all of us.
I think her hair looks like that. It looks like that. Not her confessional look. Ironically,
that confessional look is perfect.
Her confessional look. Her hair looks so bad because I don't know if they just took it out of the dreads, but
they took it out and it looks
natural hair, but it's kind of clumpy.
Yeah, it looks fake.
Maybe they're actual snakes in hiding.
I think it is
because she's
That's the show, y'all.
That's the show, everybody. All right, y'all. We've got one more. We're gonna be doing 90 Day Fiance tomorrow on Sunday, so those episodes will air this week, and we'll have pre-recorded episodes of Below Deck this week.
Yes,
Below Deck Med and Below Deck Dananda. Badoo. But that's all you're getting from us this week, y'all, because we're taking a vacation.
We're taking a vacay.
Don't Facebook us. Don't Instagram us.
Actually, you can. We just want to answer.
If your Patreon completely implodes and shuts down and your RSS, I'm sorry, y'all. We're not going to be here. You got to contract Patreon or post a thing in the Facebook group. The
Facebook group, the Sissy Squad will still be open.
Sissy Squad is open. We already closed that a week earlier because we decided
it would not work.
Yeah.
The Carl's wives would implode.
That would implode. I'd be somewhere in Big Sur and a raven would drop a letter and I would open and it would just say, Carl! And I'd be like, how did they find me? Anyway, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, but we'll see you next week with 90 Day Fiancé. And until then, we call these people lonely hearts. Because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love at the bottom of the sea or any other wrong place that we can look, Poodle?
Yes. And like the sea wind blows over the coast, I again will return to my watery domain, to sink ships and to exercise my will on all the creatures of the ocean floor.
Call us.
Call us.